Missed out on breakfast? Fret not. It's never too late to grab a bite.
All right, for today's Breakfast Bites, it's going to be a little serious. I'm sure you've heard of the age-old saying, you should never go to bed angry with your partner, right? So
Yes.
let's say you've just gotten into a fight with your spouse or maybe even your parents, or something bad happened at work and you're still seething. Is it ever okay to go to bed angry? I'd like your take on this before we dive more into it. Thoughts?
I'm thinking no, you shouldn't, because you kind of brew it inside you and it's like a burden that weighs on you and just grows heavier every growing second.
Yeah, for me, I can share an example of myself and my ex-partner without naming names, of course. If we got into a fight before going to bed, I would be the one who wants to resolve it then and there. Because I
Okay.
couldn't sleep well otherwise. She would be able to sleep soundly for 8 to 9 hours and say, let's put this aside for the time being, put it to the back burner, and we'll come back to it tomorrow. And that used to make me really upset, because I'd be like, this is such a big issue.
Okay.
And you're just sleeping like Sleeping Beauty over here. I'm like struggling to
I
figure
can
out
see
what
where
to
she's
do.
coming from. Like, sleep on it. Like, give yourself more time to think about it.
Yeah.
So you're not emotionally responding to it. You're logically talking about it.
Yeah, so I think there's pros to both sides of the coin.
Yeah, okay. So actually, I'm with the two of you. I've always avoided going to bed angry. I want to resolve the issue at hand before bed. For a long time, we've all been told never to go to bed angry, that arguments should be done and dusted before your head hits the pillow. But psychologists now say that advice might not be as helpful as you think. So here are some reasons why you should go
Okay.
to bed angry, okay? According to some clinical psychologists, the pressure to fix things now can sometimes do more harm than good. Trying to force resolution late at night or when you're exhausted can actually backfire. You're less able to listen, you're less likely to think clearly, and way more likely to say something you regret.
That is true.
And I kind of see where they're going with this, because I have said things that I regret just to kind of have a blowout fight before we can resolve things.
I mean, who hasn't, right? Words cannot be unsaid.
Exactly, yeah. So the argument here is that, in fact, sleep can be a reset. It helps you regulate your emotions. You can process what happened and come back to the issue with a clearer head. And let's be honest, some arguments don't even feel as urgent the next day.
Absolutely.
How many times have you woken up in the morning, you're like, that shouldn't have gone as badly as it did last night. I'm going to try to make it up today.
I think that's a good point, right? What are you arguing about also is a factor. Like, if it's a big thing, then yes, I think you might need to take it more seriously. If it's a small thing, like an ego kind of factor, or something small that you don't urgently need to address, maybe you could put it in back burner.
Yeah, one way to put it into perspective would be, if this was my last day on the planet, would this really be important to me?
Yeah.
The chances are 90% of the time, the answer is no.
That's true. All right, so that said, though, going to bed angry isn't always easy, right? I mean, we just talked about this,
too.
especially if you're lying there wide awake and you're stewing while your partner's already snoring.
Exactly.
But that anxiety often comes from what is called attachment panic. And that's the fear that your relationship is unstable, or your partner doesn't care, or doesn't care as much as you. It can feel urgent to fix things right now, but pushing for a late night conversation in that state can make things worse. So, what can you do instead? Experts say the key is communication and trust, as always. If you can't resolve the conflict tonight, kind of agree on a time to revisit it when you're both rested and calm.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of crazy, schedule the fight for another time, but that reassurance alone can actually help some people relax.
Yeah.
And even if you're not in a lovey-dovey mood, this is something I've been trying. Simple bedtime rituals still matter. Still say, I love you. Giving a kiss goodnight, giving your parents a hug goodnight, whatever it is not about ignoring the problem. It's about reminding yourself and each other that the relationship is still solid, even if you're in the middle of a disagreement. So you can still go to bed mad and the argument is not resolved, but still be, I love you. We'll talk about this tomorrow.
Easier said than done, right? When you're seething with anger, to be able to exchange pleasantries with whoever it is on the other side of the fence. Not so easy, but it's good advice.
But I like that idea, right? Having that certain set point to look forward to a conclusion of sorts, or round 2 at least, is, I think, helpful for both parties. And I've heard of this tip as well. If both of you are angry, look at each other in a planking position.
Planking position.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So
Time
on the
crawls, though, when you're planking.
Maybe about 30 seconds or something. So both of you are so tired, you won't have time to be angry.
And
or
you just
feel
laugh it
angry.
off.
And you laugh it off.
Have you tried?
I have not tried it yet.
Okay.
So let me know, guys.
I will try it because I'm a
Yeah,
big
I'm gonna try
planker
it.
now.
I'll try it with my parents. Mom, get on the floor. Let's have a go.
Oh my gosh. Well, don't forget that conflicts are part of any relationship. It's how you handle them that makes a difference. And the goal isn't a perfect relationship, but a resilient one where both people are willing to grow and learn and move through the messy parts together. So the next time you're in a late night argument, ask yourself, is sleep the wiser move? It might just be the healthiest one for your relationship and your peace of mind. There you go.